come and join the Play the Game forums at playthegamecentral.com, the home for Call of Duty Zombies. Safe, my name is Hoyo, and welcome back to Play the Game Central. Today I'm going to be breaking down the Zetsubou No Shima trailer, which is part of DLC 2 for Black Ops 3 and will drop on the 19th of April. So first off, we see the Division 9 logo. There's a sun and some lines and a shape around it and some kanji. I don't know what the kanji means. Dempsey does not drown. Shut the fuck up. Now we can see two buildings that are part of this facility. The building on the right has a ground floor, first floor and a second floor. And if you look closely behind the bush, you can see some orange illuminated stairs. It's not the stairs that are illuminated, there's a light behind it so you can see it. There's also a ladder on the far right hand side on the balcony, but you might not be able to go up it. The building on the left seems to be connected by this center bridge here, so it's safe to assume that you can go in there as well. Also, there's a tree. Wow! And coconuts! What? Here we see four pillars that are part of some ancient ruins. Now on each of the four pillars are symbols of the Keeper language. You can't see the symbols on the far left pillar, but that's just because of the angle that they are positioned. The two pillars in front of us seem to have the same symbols in the same order, but alas are in a different colour. The colours might mean that the pillars are player specific when you interact with them. Also, here is our first glimpse where we can see that element 115 has started to combine with the local flora, and that plays a big part in this map. Now we see this bloke inside a tank. He appears to be holding some imaginary boobs. But the interesting thing about this man is that this is a clear attempt that Division 9 are trying to merge humans with element 115 infused flora, hence the vines that are protruding from his body. The next shot cuts to an array of these pods, where we can see multiple test subjects. And I think that's a HVK on the wall over there. And a very suspicious looking plant. Suspicious plant. This zombie is ecstatic. He's so happy. Look at him. He's so pleased with himself. And behind this cheerful chap is one of the plane engines that we will see in a minute. Now hanging above the ditch here is a very noticeable power line that is surging with blue energy. And yes, blue probably means element 115, and it seems to be coming from the towers in the distance. So it's obvious that this cable is powering something. Here we can see Takio wielding the Black Ops 3 version of the MP40, but throughout this trailer you will see multiple weapons that are part of the supply cache drops. Now whether this means that you can use supply drop weapons that you've specifically earned, or that these supply drop weapons are part of the map, on the walls or in the mystery boxes, we don't know. I kind of hope they are though. We can see here some vines that are blocking off a path. Maybe these are a trap, and when these roots and vines are given power, they will start to grow and create a doorway, an electric viney doorway. Now this is an area that you will go to immediately after the spawn area. I can tell you this because there's a KRM wall buy on the wall over there. Over to the left here you can see that the Bowie knife is buyable again. I mean, what do you expect? Another supply drop weapon. We can see Nikolai using the MX Garand. Here we get a better view of the power towers in the distance, and it's safe to assume that they are part of the first two buildings that we saw at the very start of the trailer. Now this is where it gets spooky. Among the tree canopies we can see bodies strung up in a massive array of spider webs. And just below it we can see that there's been raw element 115 scattered about the place, and it's obviously caused some mutations in the local flora and wildlife, and most noticeably the spiders, which we'll get to in a minute. Here we see a rather deadly plant coming out of an ancient ruins. They pick up zombies and eat them. Whether they are dangerous to players, we don't know. They could be a viable trap. Who knows, Papa Joe's? Zetsubou No Shima! Now this could just be a particle effect that happens inside one of the rooms, but this zombie here looks to be giving off some kind of spores. But when I first saw this zombie, I thought of the fire zombie that we saw in Shangri-La. But then I noticed that this zombie is not on fire, so I think that this zombie is giving off some kind of infectious spore. Maybe this infectious spore will work similarly like the infection zombies from Exo-Zombies, but let's not talk about that. I'd rather not upset you all. We can see some first-person gameplay of the MP40, and on the ground floor of the other side of the main facility. Over on the left here we can see an entrance to another area that seems to have the distinct element 115 glow, and this zombie gets eaten by one of those fly traps. We're back to the standard mystery box style again, and in the background we can see the crashed plane. There's a lovely shot of Tricky Ricky here, but in the background we can see something that looks like a lever. It's not, it's an old lamp. Thought I'd tell you people before you call it a lever. Right, now here we can see the plane that crashes inside the map. Now this plane is a B-29 bomber. An interesting thing about the B-29, it is the plane that dropped the first atomic bomb on Japan that essentially ended World War II. And that specific B-29 was called the Enola Gay. Now whether in fact this is an alternate version of the Enola Gay that crashed on this map, we don't know. And if so, there's no text indicating this, but on the side you can see the words night. Whether or not it says something else that we just can't see with this quality of the video is questionable, but it does look like it says night or height. Or some, I don't know. But we can see 3 orbs that are on the fuselage. At first I thought these were gunner pods, but on second look, it seemed to be a bit out of place. Maybe it's something spooky going on this plane. Maybe those orbs are what crashed it. Who knows? Papa Joe's. It's unclear to actually how you get the plane to come down. Maybe it just comes down at the start of the match, or maybe you have to shoot it down or activate like a defense system. Now, when I first saw this area, I thought that this was the wreckage of the plane that was crashing, but it seems that these engines are properly suspended with chains and stuff like that, and for some reason these engines are actually being properly lifted off the ground. So there's obviously some pretense behind this area. This is not the plane that we saw crashing. This is an already crashed plane. Now, these suspended engines are linked to the power grid, and activating this power will cause the engines to be lowered down and the engines to turn on, shredding the oncoming zombies. Very conveniently, we have a map of the entire area on the right down here. It seems to be split off into 6 sections. Let's try and guess what these places are. The bottom right or left might be the ruins that we saw earlier, and the adjacent one would probably be the trees that are infested with spiders. The narrow pathway at the top might be the area we just saw with the plane engines. There's actually a bit above that that's kind of hard to see, so that might be where the plane is actually crashed. The left section could be the flooded facility part, which we'll see in a minute, and the right section could be the main communication base that we saw at the very start of the trailer. It seems this map is filled with shortcuts to get around quickly. One of these seems to be from inside one of the buildings that lets you jump down to the outside of the map. There's another shortcut which is actually underwater, so while swimming you can go through this pipe and then you'll be sucked through this area via the current. Now, something I noticed on a lot of these leaves are these terrifying spiders. Disgusting. The exit of this pipe leads you to an area of scaffolding with an element 115 meteorite inside. Juggernog, you know what that is. More supply drop weapons, these double shotgun things, you know what these are. And here we can see what looks like to be a pufferfish pickup. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like a pufferfish. I don't know what else to call it. It does look like a hairy ball, but I'd rather it be a pufferfish, to be honest. I kind of hope it is. Unless we can pick up giant hairy testicles for some reason. Or it's a seed? It's something. You pick it up. It's new. Who knows what it does? Maybe it's a pufferfish. Maybe it's a giant hairy testicle. Maybe it's just a really good friend. A really good hairy spiky friend. It's got like a blue thing on it as well. I don't know what this is. I have no idea. If you can see a fan, it's a fan. It sucks in air. It sucks, you know? It pretty much sucks, to be honest. It sucks in zombies. It's a trap. And no, this is not a tentacle. It is a twig. just letting you guys know. It's a twig. And of course, there we go. We can see it sucking in the zombies. And here we go. We can finally see the nightmare fuel. That is the giant spiders. Fucking hell. They are just terrifying. I don't even know. I don't. Ugh. And they can fire webs. They jizz on you. Spiders be jizzing on you. Ugh. Go away, Spider-Man. I've none of that. But luckily, we can wash it off by swimming underwater in one of the flooded bases. That's pretty cool. Go for a wee little swim. But watch out. There are some zombies underneath it. Swimming zombies. Swambies. Swan zombies. Swimming zombies. And finally, we can see the outcome of Division 9's research into combining humans with Element 115 that has been infused with plants. We can see this unfortunate zombie transforming into this monster thing. It's, yeah, look at this, like a tree man. It's a tree man, and you have to shoot those 3 glowing things in order to kill it. I'm going to tell you that now. It's fairly obvious. That's how gaming works. 3 glowing objects, you shoot it, they die. What are you doing in my swamp? And that's it. That's Play the Game's breakdown of the Zetsubou No Shima trailer. If you're excited for this map, I actually am, okay? I was honestly not excited at all, and then I saw this trailer, and it redeemed itself. Well done, Treyarch. I am more or less moderately excited now for this map. I want to play it. I want to go in a swamp. I want to shoot shit up. Zetsubou No Shima. So guys, tell me what you're most excited for in this map. Have I missed anything? Might have done. Who knows? I tried my best. So that's it. So safe. My name is Ryan Sam. I live a long time, and I'll see you next time on Play the Game Central. Ta-da! Woo!